All right, and we are live. Lauryn Boorstein, everybody.
Hey.
All right, so what's up, party people? Got an absolute rock star in the insurance space on the podcast today. So, Lauryn, thank you for joining me. We'll cut to the commercial break real quick, then we'll get this party rolling. I wish all commercials were that short, but
yeah, me too.
So, how long have you been in insurance sales?
So I started full time about 6 months ago. I got my license about a year ago, and at first, I became a single mom, so I had to work. Of course, I had to be able to put money into my business. So I started serving again part time, and everything that I made from serving, I put into my life insurance. So I was working 6 days, 7 days a week, just grinding in and out. And I'll never forget it. I had a very good day. I made close to $3,000, and my upline texted me, and the one question that they said to me, they put me in a group chat. They were like, how many tables would it have took for you to make this in a day, right? And they put it into perspective for me, and I literally, I'll never forget it. And I had so much fear because I have to be able to support my daughter. And I walked back to the back office, and I was like, hey, I'm putting my 2 weeks notice in. I'm going to start life insurance full time. And in that week of me going full time, I got a promotion, right? So my fear always stops me.
See, what would you get promoted to?
Regional sales director.
For the insurance company or the company you were at?
For the insurance company.
Okay, awesome. So how many tables would it have taken you to
make that? A lot of tables, months,
So hundreds. Okay.
Yeah.
It's weird that something I've found is that my unit of measurement, how I measure wealth, has changed the more I make. You probably used to measure it in how many tables you bust or whatever it's called. I'm not in the restaurant industry, so I'm not sure of that. So
yeah.
But now it's changed. How many policies? We have different units of measurement. So that's really cool. And so you've been selling this for 6 months now, and I asked you the other day in Facebook, how many policies have you sold so far? How many applications have you taken?
So I think I could take a look right now. I think it's 272 families I was able to help so far. Let's go. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's wild to me. I still can't believe that I finally found something that I'm good at and I love,
And what makes you say you love this? Why do you believe that you love this?
Because I've always been a hustler when it comes to jobs and making money and stuff like that. But now I actually have a purpose. And I really feel and then I still get tripped up on this, right? Some days I wake up and I'm okay, I have bills coming up. I need to put some more money back into my business, buy more states to sell life insurance. So I start getting stressed out, and I think about it as making money instead of how many families I could help, and it will affect my sales, right? So once I switch my thinking, okay, today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to help 3 families. That's my goal. I write it down. I'm helping 3 families. Instead of thinking about the money, I want to think about how I'm going to help them, and the money just comes.
Okay. And when you say you feel like this gives you purpose, what purpose is that?
To help people, to remove stress from them, to educate them on how important life insurance really is. Because we don't know that, right? A lot of my clients call me, they don't even know anything about life insurance. And then they wait till they're 70, 80 years old to get these policies, and they're paying ridiculous amount of money when they could have known about this when they were in their 30s, right? So to educate them, to let them know how important this is, and then have them sign their families up too, get the whole family on board. Let's do this.
I like that. Would you say you're a critical thinker?
Very critical.
And so when I ask that, it's you look at the same problem and you try to come up with many solutions for it.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. And I think this is where a lot of agents get tripped up. Because they're well, what policy is the best?
Any
There could
policy.
be multiple options.
Exactly.
What's kind of the road you take in like your diagnosis? What's your doctor's diagnosis kind of like? Like, what's your strategy for giving someone exactly what you feel like they need? Because this is your opinion.
Yeah. So what I do is like, I really focus my call on fact finding, right? Like I want to know, I ask them questions like, have you planned a funeral for a loved one recently? Have you had to come up with the money to get a loved one, buried? And then, I think a lot of agents, what happens is they're so nervous and they just want to talk. And it's really about listening, right? And hearing what the client wants, and then me coming up with a solution to give exactly what that client needs. Now, sometimes the clients, what they want, they're missing the bigger picture. I want all this money left behind, right? And then that's when I educate them in the nicest way possible. Like, listen, the main goal is to make sure that the burden is not left with your family. And it reels them back in. And they're like, okay, let's do that. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. So what do you do to kind of bring them back into the reality?
So
like how do you really drive that point home that, hey, you don't need $1 million. All you need is this little bit right here.
Yeah. So what I do is my company, we have actually a membership. It's called Legacy Assurance, and we actually help out with the planning of the services. And we are a high quality merchandise company. And this is really where I hit it home. Like we have our headstones, caskets, vaults, all of our like items are for wholesale price. So 80% of a funeral, it's so expensive because of the merchandise. Well, my clients, they don't even have the money for that. So as soon as I tell them about this program that comes with their policy, it gets them to understand like, wow, I could get a whole burial policy with my merchandise included and maybe leave behind a couple $1,000s, but my whole burial is paid for, right? And that to them, like when I stress about that and I say like, it's not about leaving the money behind. It's more about making sure that your daughter does not have to plan a thing. We will come in with our team, plan the whole service for you, and won't have to pay anything out of pocket. So like I always bring it back to the fact that we will handle everything for you. And we're very, I could speak for myself. I'm very involved with my clients. Like they will call me up just to tell me that they're done being sick. You know what I mean? I just make friendships with them. So once we build that trust with one another, when I tell them it's not about leaving money behind, it's about making sure that this is handled. And it just kind of plays the tape out.
And why do you make friends with your clients?
Because this is all about trust. And if they could trust me, not only will my business grow because I get a lot of referrals and people are always calling me, hey, you signed my sister up. Not only will that happen, but when they could trust me, it is about the persistency and consistency of keeping that client on the books and like being able for them to call me. And really, like, if you think about it, like people, you hear life insurance and it seems not important, but like I am in charge of making sure that this family is taken care of when their loved one passes away. Right. So why wouldn't I want them to not trust me?
And so that's you placing a lot of responsibility on yourself. Would you agree with that?
Yes, 100%.
Why do you do that?
Because I feel like that God gave me the gift of this, and I feel like I'm really good at it. And if I'm helping people in the long run, my financial success will come. And that's just how I think, like be a good person, be persistent, be consistent, and show up, and you're going to be blessed.
I think your dog agrees with that.
Yeah, I know.
What kind of dog do you have?
We got a couple. We got an exotic pit bull, a Frenchie, and another exotic pit bull too.
So 2 exotic pit bulls and a Frenchie. Is that like a French Yorkie?
No, it's a French bulldog.
French bulldog. Okay, yeah. There's so many breeds. I get lost. I've got Huskies. That's about all I know. Huskies, German Shepherds. I don't spend too much time researching dogs. I just know I like them more than I do most people.
Me too. And it's crazy, right? That I do. And babies,
yeah,
babies and people. I
they
mean,
don't
dogs.
talk back, and you can leave for 5 minutes, and they act like you've been gone for a year, and they're so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love that. Cats just don't care. Cats don't give a shit whether you're home or not.
Exactly.
No, so I won't be getting any cats anytime soon. But where would you say all these beliefs and like these character traits, these skills come from? Like, where along your timeline or your journey that you've embarked on, like, when did you pick up these beliefs?
So, I mean, like I've lived when I was younger, I lived a little crazy life, and I found myself, staring off the wrong path, and I became, through all my pain that happened in my life, it allowed me to have purpose, right? So there's only one thing that you could either fail or become strong and handle it. And I chose to become strong and handle it. And by doing that, I feel like it set me up for the life insurance world, because this job is tiring. It could be stressful. I mean, I make very good money, but I put a lot of money back into it. And at the end of the day, I know and I tell this to all the people close to me, wholeheartedly, I know that I will become so successful in this career. Like, I know that. And the faith is what keeps me going. On the days where I am on the phones all day and I don't sell one, but then that next day I sell 7, right?
What does success mean to you, Lauryn?
Success means to me it means a lot, honestly. It means that I do whatever I can to be the best version of myself, to give back everything that was given to me, and to have financial freedom, honestly. And to really not do it for me, to set my
what's the picture that's running through your mind?
The picture that's running through my mind?
I can tell you're creating an image in your head simply by your eye pattern. So, like, what's the picture that's running through your head?
To wake up and to not worry, and to make sure that my daughter is okay. Really, what it comes down, I've always wanted to be a mom. I've always wanted, and I want more kids, and I want to give back too. So, to know that my hard work right now, and this is so true, is setting my daughter's future up, especially in life insurance, right? Like, life insurance agents, you could set your family up for life. So when I wake up every day and people ask me my why, it's my daughter. And I stare at her and I know that I'm going to give her a life where she's never going to have to worry about anything. And I did it all on my own with no help.
Well, what's that going to make you feel?
How's that going to make me feel? Amazing. Like an inspiration. I love that for you.
Yeah. I just made a Facebook post the other day. I was like, I don't think single moms get the credit they deserve. Like, I have a very special place in my heart for single mothers. I can really respect what you do and what you value, but it's like, I think they're fucking rock stars.
Oh, I love that. Thanks. We are rock stars. Woohoo.
It's just like, hey,
let's hire all the single moms. You want to change your life, hit your girl up.
If I could have 2 agencies, one of just single moms and one of just church pastors, I would love to make them compete and go head to head.
Right.
See who wins. Because I love both of them. But, like, I think they're fucking rock stars in my books. Like, most of the single moms I know are very down-to-earth people, but they just don't make fucking excuses.
Yeah, like you can't.
You can have results or you can have reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Like, which one do you want to choose? Which side of the equation do you want to live on? Effect or cause?
Yeah,
so I love that you're living on the cause side of the equation and taking responsibility for everything, because we have everything we need to be successful and achieve what we deem meaningful. So you can blame yourself or you can blame circumstances, but circumstances don't give a shit.
Exactly. Love that. You just pumped me up. You know what I mean? I'm ready to go now.
Well, that's great. I'd love for you to define what failure means to you.
Not trying, not just giving completely up. I'm in my mind. I feel like failure is part of the success, and you are going to fail. You are going to trip over your feet, but perseverance is what matters. I failed many times in my life, but one thing I never did was give up. Right? So those failures have taught me, have molded me into the woman I am today to make me be able to live the life I'm living today. So the failures, bring them on, right? Like that's what creates my journey. I need those.
So, would you say there's a better word for that then? Because me personally, it's my assumption that there is no such thing as failure, only feedback.
Facts. So I would just say, instead
Problems? Adversity? Like what would you label failure as? Like, if you could reframe that word or rename it, what would it be to you?
Lessons.
Lessons. Okay, I love that.
Right? Lessons. I always say this, and I say this, and I say it to my agents and other people that I help in my life. Like, God's rejection is my protection. So no matter what I get rejected from, there's another path for me to succeed on, right?
Yeah, the only reason I like to touch on that is because the words we choose hold so much weight in the world, and I don't think people realize, like, if they make President Obama take communication classes, like, I think language is pretty important, especially for what I've learned from Tony Robbins, whatever. But it's like, what's something that they tell all of the kids in school? Don't be a failure.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Our brain cannot process negatives. So, Lauren, just answer this first thing that comes to mind. If I tell you, do not think of a blue tree, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Blue tree.
Yeah. So if I tell someone not to be a failure, what's the first thing that's going to come to their mind?
Failure.
And they'll find their definition for it. And they'll attach to that. And like, you have to think of something to not think of it. So it's like, I'm very cognizant with the words that I use.
Yes.
Do you have anything like that you're with?
Yeah, so I'm like very big with especially with when I changed to this career, like manifestation, and just like we are our worst critics. So if I start filling my head up with like negativity, like this policy is going to rescind, this is going to happen, then I allow that poison to take over me, right? Like my mind is like I need to be able to control it. So instead of negative talk, like saying failure, stuff like that. Okay, I had a hard day today. Well, it taught me to have a better day tomorrow. Just changing the way you think.
Yeah, but just practice. I love that.
But it takes practice, right? It takes 20 days to kick a bad habit. So like when you start self-doubting yourself, like practice, reel it back in, take 5 minutes, get off the phones, go pray, do whatever that looks like to you. People have different ways, and then reel it back in.
And so what are some of the things, because we kind of get our model or our truth of the world that defines our reality. Like, what are some of those things you picked up when you were a kid that you still carry with you today? Like, those are just kind of your truths that you never thought to question.
Manners, like, but sometimes in this field, everything that you sometimes have to put the manners to the side.
You gotta put the people in check.
Yeah, and that's good. And I'm grateful that I was raised where I am very polite. But at the end of the day, if I have a strong opinion or like knowledge about something, I'll be passionate enough to be like, this is what you need to do. You know what I mean?
Would you say you're a non-passive person? Like, you're not big into passivity?
No, yeah, non-passive. Like, I know how to be respectful, but I also know how to set boundaries.
Oh, like, I love that.
You know what I mean?
Shit, I fucking love it.
To make sure that things get done the way that needs to be done.
Okay, and what's something else that you've carried with you from like 0 to 7 years old, or like 8 to 13? Like, what's something that you've really held on to, that belief or assumption about the world that you believe to be true?
The world, I mean, not everybody is going to be as loyal and nice as you are, like you're gonna get hurt. People are gonna be mean to you, but don't take it personal, and I rode with that my whole life. whether somebody hurts me or not, I'm not going to hurt them back. I'm just going to keep moving and learn from it and let it motivate me. My haters are my motivation, you know?
Yeah, and why do you think that is? Like, why do you think other people are the way they are, in your own words?
I think that they get in their head too much, and a lot of it comes down to self-centeredness. Like, everybody, like, you always thinking that people are taught, like, you need to act this certain way or do this, but like in the all reality, everybody thinks of self. Nobody is thinking about what you're doing, and if they are, they're trying to, you know, who knows? It's not up to me to say why people act the way they act, right? And when I get caught up trying to control how they're acting towards me, that's when I lose my full potential as a person. So why let that happen? Because then I'm losing in the long run.
Correct. We are the most important person in our own world.
Exactly. Self-centered, you know, not thinking about others, stuff like that.
Yeah, like most people think other people are thinking about them, but like I had to ask myself, how many people do I actually think about throughout the day? And it was like one or two for like 30 seconds a piece. And I'm like, if that's all I'm thinking about people throughout the day, like I can safely assume they're probably not thinking about me either.
Exactly.
And everything I'm worried about is completely made up in my mind and fictitious.
Exactly. And then those thoughts prolong you from becoming your best version of yourself, which is crazy.
It does, because you're so worried about fucking other people.
Facts.
I cannot stand it.
Me too.
Like that comparison trap.
Yep. Social media, that's why it's bad. But I love it, but it's bad for some people.
If you know how to use it, but like who says social media is bad, or who says it's good?
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it's bad, but a lot of people
behind it. Somehow social media has managed to make me a lot of the moolah.
Yeah, same.
Does that make it bad or good? No, it just is.
Yep.
Social media just is what it is. I'm a huge proponent of intentionality, and that goes back into what you said with other people. It's like, if you do not set the standard or the boundary for the relationship, that relationship will set the standard or the boundaries that you live by.
Exactly.
Like that's where all the silent expectations come from. Well, I just assumed you knew.
Yeah.
Like, what am I supposed to do? Read your fucking mind?
Yeah, facts. I love this.
Yeah, tell me what you want. Like, people wonder why their wife doesn't tell them anything, or they don't tell their husband, or like, what are all these problems coming from? Like your expectations, because not everyone grew up in the same world as you, and they have a different model of the world, how they view things.
Yep.
And like the simplest way I can break this down is like, Lauren, what would you define love as in 3 words? If you had to pick 3 words that defined love, what would it be for you? Because mine is God, transparency, and respect.
Oh, good. Mine's God, loyalty, and kindness.
See, but like when we talk about love, we could be talking about 2 different things if we didn't clarify it. And that's why people get like misconstrued in their conversations.
Exactly.
So if you had to break this down for sales, because like did you ever do sales before? Like, did you ever practice sales before insurance or?
So no, I mean, of course I'm in the food and beverage industry. I've always been an extrovert. I'm very good at talking with people, but I never did sales. I was actually in school to become a real estate agent, and I stopped that to do my life insurance, and I'm happy I did, honestly.
I am too, because ain't nothing looking good about that industry right now to me.
No, exactly. We're about to start hiring the real estate agents to join the team.
Here, let me run this idea by, and you tell me what you think of it. So I created a Facebook group. I don't know if anyone has done this before. I haven't looked it up because I really don't care what anyone else is doing. But I created a Facebook group in a community for real estate agents and insurance agents to partner up to be referral partners. So anytime a real estate agent sells a house, the insurance agent gets a free lead-in referral and gets edified, a nice warm touch.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea.
The referral sends them through, hey, just give 30 or 40% of your commission to the real estate agent. You're getting free leads now and free sales.
Facts.
What do you think about that?
It's a great idea. Listen, hey, you never know unless you try. It might take off.
I've already started it. I'm just waiting for people to join. But
there you go.
Like, I think that's going to be cool. And then I'll sell them all on some really expensive coaching. But
there you go. Nice.
No, totally not kidding. But what would you say has made you like such the conversationalist that you are, like, is it the people skills from the restaurant industry? Like, what is it that helps you to really drive the point across to these people to get them to not say shit like, I need to think about it. I got to talk to my pet fish who drowned last night about it. Can you call me back, Lauren? Like,
Yes,
what is it about you that's getting them to make a decision?
So honestly, like what it comes down to is I like I said in the beginning, I really like you called me. First of all, most of the leads I work are television live transfers. So I pick them up, they call me, and we start the call right away. And not only that is that like there's a reason, whether people have objections, lies, whatever you want to call it. There's a reason why they're calling me. And at this point now, it's like a game to me, in a sense, like a game to me where I'm like, okay, like when they hit me with objections, I take it as like, it's fun. I'm like, okay, so tell me more about that. What does that look like? Or in the beginning of the call, like when, I always try to say, does anybody else need to be on this phone call to have this discussion? Are you the decision maker in your household, right? And they hit me with, nobody needs to be here. And then I get back down to banking and they're like, somebody needs to be here. And I literally just say, Miss Jones, you already told me that you're the decision maker. And then it's like kind of the point where and then even some of them are like, oh man, you're good. And it's like, really like, I'm not good. I'm not good.
You told me.
Yeah, you're telling me these things. I'm listening because I care. And at the end of the day, like, you need it. This is not like you're calling in because you see a infomercial of something that's like, you don't need. Like, you need life insurance. I know that you need it. So you got connected to me, and I'm not getting you off the phone until we find out really what's going on.
And why are you so direct with these people? Like, I'm not saying it's confrontational or anything, but like, I'm the same way, but I just want to get your mindset or your beliefs or assumptions behind this. Like, why are you so direct with these people?
Because I feel like nobody in their life has been. I mean, they're 70 and they're calling for life insurance. Why haven't you thought about this when you were 30 years old? Right.
Surface level ass relationships. People
exactly.
Like, here are most of people's conversations today. Hey, what's up? Not much. WRYD. Not much. You? Like, what the hell was even said right there? Nothing. Not a single thing of any value was said right there.
Exactly.
An exchange of some babble. Like, I could go play a Scrabble game better than that.
Exactly. And I like deep. Like, I want you to get down deep, and it's an emotion. Like, we're talking about you passing away. So if your tone on the phone is like when they're telling you about their dad that I lost my dad. So like I could immediately connect to this. So when they're telling me that their dad, and if I'm like monotone and like, oh, and I'm just trying to get them to bank in, like, what does that show of me? Right? The trust is out the window. I'm not listening to them. I'm not caring. So like I literally put myself in their shoes and it works. Like, I promise you, if you go into each call, like, one, already in your mind saying you're helping this family. Like, as soon as my phone rings, I'm like, I'm going to help this family, right? I'm setting the tone for myself. And then to go into it and come up with a solution for their problem, by the end of the call, make a friend out of it, you will succeed. You will succeed in this business. No doubt.
Where do you get that level of conviction from? Because what I like to do, like what I say is what I learned from Alex Hormozy, like, conviction will always correct your tone. The more you care, the more you will just say things the right way. So where did you learn all these like communication skills and how to inflect your tonality, like raise it, lower it, depending on what you're talking about? Like, where did you learn to do that?
Honestly, I feel like I'm a people person, and like I do feel sorry. A lot of my clients aren't fixed incomes. They come from, hard backgrounds and stuff like that. And I feel sorry for them. And if I'm able to get them something that's going to help their family, it motivates me to I'm an emotional person. Like, I want to help.
But would you like blame that on emotional intelligence? Like, just because you've been through things in life?
Emotional.
Like, because you lost your dad, you can understand what it feels like.
Exactly.
Would you say the tone just comes natural for that?
Exactly. Like, and a lot of these people, I do. As soon as they tell me stories, I feel myself feel for them, right? And I'm able to switch it up and like be on their level. I'm asking the questions, they're opening up to me. If they're opening up to me and I'm just like this miserable person on the phones while they're telling me some really deep shit, like who does that say of me? You know what I mean?
What do you think goes through their mind, the client's mind, when someone answers the phone like that and they're just a robot? Like they just have the perfect answer and they got their precious little freaking script right there that just has all of the answers to all of their life's problems, and they'll make all of the sales in the world.
Yeah, I think that it puts a wall up because in this world, this is what we were just talking about. Life insurance. You hear about life insurance, health insurance. Oh, that's a scam. That's a scam. And it's like, is it? Because I'm pretty sure everyone needs health insurance and life insurance, but so many people have gotten burnt or done stuff like this. So when I am able to not be a salesperson, like even they'll be like, oh, you're so good, you got the sale. And I correct them. No, I was able to help you. Like, I didn't get the sale. I was able to help you. And they're like, oh, and then they love it. You know, they're like, wow, that's so nice. Like, and I tell people in the beginning of the call, when I know, because I could put myself in, like when I have a hard guy, you know, and he's like, I don't want it. I just give me the quote. And they're giving me a hard time. I'm able to build that wall down. You know what I mean? Like and I tell him, I'm not a salesperson. So stop trying to think that do you want to brainstorm and get your problem solved together? I say it. He's like, okay, I'm listening to you, Mr. Jones. What would you like? Let me see what I could do for you. As soon as you say I'm listening, they love that. People love to hear themselves talk, you know?
They want to feel understood, 100%.
Yes, and heard, yes.
So some of the things that I'm kind of taking from this conversation is that you like to treat this like a game.
Yes.
Your tonality just comes from emotional intelligence, and what I can only assume is just you trying to place yourself in their shoes because you've actually walked in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that you have a lot of conviction. Like, what would you say to someone who is going to watch this, whether it's a year from now or 10 years from now? Like, how would they steal those traits, those skills and those beliefs? How would they take what you're doing and put it into their own business? That way they can make some sales.
What I would tell them is really be yourself. Learn how to be emotional, learn how to talk to people. But at the end of the day, don't focus so much about how much money you can make and just focus on learning your product and being able to help these people. And I knew nothing about insurance. I didn't even know what a whole life and term life policy is now. Now people call me, I could talk for hours.
But where did that come from?
It came from practice.
It came
from practice. Like I sat up at night and I would listen to podcasts. I read The Wolf of the Way, the book. I had mentorship. My company, Senior Life, we have the best mentorship. I've watched single moms being able to bring home, change the life for their children and make great money from their kitchen table. And one of the top producers, I've watched her podcast. My mentor, Dana, I watched her. She's
Dana
a single mom. Dana Berlin, that's my girl.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Dana Neeson. I was like, I love that girl.
No, shout out to Dana. But I've watched all these people around me doing this, and then I started to become so interested in it, and then I started to do really well, and I make the most money I've ever made in my whole entire life because of life insurance. But it's not even about the money, right? It's about me helping them, and God is blessing me in the long run.
So would you say most of your knowledge came from after getting the reps in?
Mm-hmm. Practice, application. It doesn't matter if I'm closing or not, as long as I'm presenting to these clients every single day. I need to make 15 presentations a week. I do way more than that now, but in the beginning, the application process, handling objections. I remember we have an objection handbook, and I would put my daughter to bed at night, and I'd be up in my bedroom, and I'm reading these objections over and over again. And now I used to be so scared when somebody would give me an objection, and now I'm let's go, bring on these objections. I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? So it's it's scary in the beginning, especially being on the phones. Like, I'm better in person, but I love the phones. I'm not going to do door to door, and like, just so they could know, I don't know. It's just amazing. I was so scared in the beginning. And now every morning I wake up, I'm like, let's go, let's get it, you know?
Where do you feel like this contagious energy, like this vigor, this passion comes from?
Confidence.
And explain to me what confidence is to you.
Knowing that I struggle in this industry like anybody will. 8% of people really make it, right? They say. But that every day I wake up, I know exactly where I need to be and what goals I need to reach. And like, I'm ready. I am coming for the next couple of years. And that's a fact. Like,
So does that sound more like certainty?
Yeah, certainty, confidence and certainty in what I do. I love what I do, and I'm really good at it.
I like defining things. I think it just gives a lot more clarity to whoever watch this. Because someone might go try to get more confident, and they're like, hell, my life is still, what the hell is going on, God?
Yeah, you're right. And also,
like certainty.
Yeah, like, you got to practice. Like, you want to become good at, look at, you know, Kobe Bryant and everybody. You want to become good at something. Like, they practice from morning to night and persevere through no matter what. Like, anybody that is successful, I like to read up on entrepreneurs and stuff like that. They put in the work every single day to get where they're at. And there were days where they had no money because they threw it back all into what they needed to do, but they became millionaires.
Yeah, it's competence, right? Not confidence.
Yeah, there you go.
They knew what they were doing. They knew how they had to do it. Like, confidence, I think, is a self-illusion.
Yeah, you're right. There you go. I like that. You just see, there you go.
It's an illusion. It's a facade. It's like when you're driving in the heat and you think it's a puddle in the road.
Yeah.
It's like what is that? It's just distortion. But like, I'm a huge proponent of competence. It's the certainty frame. So I believe in like real stuff, not something that's fictitious or made up. That's why I don't tell myself that I'm a lion in the mirror today, because then I'm just lying to myself.
Facts, so 100%. You're right there.
Lauryn, if you could end this on one belief that you would like to share with others, like what would you give them? To someone who's watching this, what would you really like to impart on them?
Okay, so what I would say is get out of your own head, put the footwork in, trust the process, trust the people that, my mentors say this to me all the time, do not take advice from people that are drowning to how to swim, right? Like, so there's going to be people out in this industry that are going to get, I'm on these life insurance websites and people are posting this stuff and I'm reading all this stuff and it's crazy to me. Like, stop taking that knowledge and believe in it, because you could be on the best path of your whole entire life, but other people's opinions are blocking you from your greater destination.
Yeah, they're blocking their own blessings.
Exactly. So just do it, fight through it, get a great mentor. You need mentorship in this industry, and I'm grateful for mine. They taught me everything I need to know.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and tell you guys 99% of the insurance specialists, mentors, coaches, whatever the hell you want to call them, are full of shit. I do not want to sell you hype. I don't care about how you feel. I care about giving you exactly what you need to be profitable in this industry.
Facts.
And all I want is a thank you for it. That's my inherently selfish desire. I like feeling reassurance. So that's what's in it for me, is being told thank you. But at least I'm real about it. So I don't care about how excited you get and you do your morning routines and your ice baths and then you still don't make any fucking money. So,
facts. Let's go. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
No, well, Lauryn, thank you absolutely so much for accepting this request of mine and joining. I think you provided a lot of value, and we made a lot of new definitions today for insurance agents that I hope they can get some benefit from. So if someone wants to join your team, reach out to you, talk to you, buy insurance, where can they find you at?
Okay, so perfect. I have my Facebook, but I have business cards. I got to get better with like, I got to get a LinkedIn and stuff like that. I really don't. I just have people reach out to me on social media right now, you know?
So what's your Facebook?
Okay, my Facebook is Lauryn, LAURYN, Marie, MARIE. You'll see my profile, Senior Life, president of the Boorstein Group. You'll see Senior Life stuff on there. I love Senior Life. Senior Life, all your life, baby. Let's go. And then I have business cards, my agent ID. Like I just send that out to everyone, flyers, whatever you need. I don't know. I'll leave you with my direct contact information. You want me to say it?
I don't care if you're comfortable enough doing it. I'll put my phone number in all kinds of videos.
Yeah, you could take my phone number. So my phone number is 570-856-0370 and just call. Phone's always on.
All right, well, you guys give her a call. Nothing after 2 a.m. though. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m. Y'all keep it PG-13, please.
Yeah, there we go.
We're never going to YouTube channel again. But no, Lauryn, thank you so much. You're an absolute bombshell on here. So thank you, like 10x, 1000x, whatever the hell you want to call it. I'm extremely grateful, and I look forward to talking to you more in the future. So
me too. I'm so happy we linked up and we're friends, and let's make this money, change the industry,
that's how
baby.
you make
Let's
friends,
go.
guys. Just like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Just reach out to people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you for having me. I'm super blessed and grateful that you asked me. You guys all have a good day. Hit me up if you have any questions. I'm here to help you.
All right. Peace out, party people. See ya.
Bye.